everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Nate.
And we are
Popcorn and Powerups. Yes, we got it.
We did get it that time. That was almost perfect. And Nate, what are we talking about today?
So, recently we saw Star Wars Revenge of the Sith in theaters since they brought it back for its 20th anniversary.
That's right. So we are going to react to seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters. But what I think we could do a little bit better than that for this episode. Don't you, Nate?
Oh, I very much think we could.
Great. So why don't we rank all the Star Wars movies?
That would be a great idea.
Awesome. I'm glad you're excited about that.
Yeah.
So listeners, stay tuned because we're going to react to Revenge of the Sith in theaters, and then we are going to give you our rankings for all 11 Star Wars movies.
Including the other miscellaneous Star Wars stories, too. Alright, so we are going to be doing our little reaction to seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters. Now, we couldn't do this for the past couple days because I had other things to do, but we saw it on Wednesday.
That's right. So it's been a few days since we actually saw it, so we've had a little bit of a chance to kind of think about our reaction first.
Yeah.
But we're still calling it a reaction to the movie.
Yes. My favorite part of watching it in the theaters had to be that part in the final battle when Anakin and Obi-Wan are just, they're in, a sort of, saber lock, and then a bunch of lava just shoots up from behind them. That's gotta be, one of my favorite parts. And, of course, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Nice. Yeah, so, we've seen it 100 times at home, on Disney Plus, on our TV, with our sound bar, and our TV that's kind of getting old, so it's not really working great anymore.
TV's elderly.
What were your thoughts, when we walked out of the theater? Was it way better to you?
When we walked out of the theater, I was speechless. It was the best version of a Star Wars movie I've seen ever in theaters. Ever.
What was the other one you saw in theaters, or ones?
The Rise of Skywalker.
That's right, The Rise of Skywalker.
Just The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. So I was going to say...
We'll get to that one later.
Yeah. So I originally saw this in theaters when I was in my early 20s. So 20 some odd years ago when it came out. And it was a blast then, right? But I really enjoyed the chance to see it in the movies with you. That was a great chance to share the experience.
And this guy right here, he said that this was the best Star Wars movie intro he's ever seen.
Yes.
As Anakin and Obi-Wan are just in their TIE fighters going across the Venator, and then they reveal this entire huge battle below.
Oh, absolutely. So let me start by my thoughts on the in the theaters in the 20th anniversary we just saw.
Yeah.
So the movie starts with a nice special welcome from Hayden Christensen, who plays Anakin, of course.
And of course he says, "This is where the fun begins."
He does, and it just kind of gives you a great feeling, you're part of a special screening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little.
It was only out for a week, by the way. It ended yesterday.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can't see it anymore.
So we snuck in there. We got it, right?
Yeah.
And to me, everything looks better on the big screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, on the intro sequence, they're flying along, and you see just two fighters flying, and all of a sudden, oh my God, they're part of a huge battle, ships shooting back and forth or whatever. I remember being impressed by that back in the day when I first saw it, and it's still impressive. What stood out to me in this movie in the theater, and you can let me know if you agree, Nate, was the sound. Right, so the sound that we're so used to watching in our sound bar or listening on our little sound bar at home, but I thought the sound in the movie theater was incredible.
Oh, the sound in the theater was incredible.
Absolutely. There were some times when the Venators were taking off from Coruscant, and it felt like they were flying over your head. Would you agree?
Yeah, especially if it was a 3D movie. If you got to see it in 3D, that would have made it awesome. But still, most of it was great.
Nice. Yeah, no, I'm glad you thought so. I'd have to say my favorite part, was of course the duel at the end, or the duels, right? You had both Yoda and Anakin and all that stuff. Yoda fighting Palpatine, Anakin fighting Obi-Wan. Those duels were awesome.
Oh, I actually have a fact about the song that was playing during those duels.
What's your fact?
So, when Anakin was fighting Obi-Wan on Mustafar, it played a special rhythm, and then when it cut to Yoda fighting Palpatine, what we saw was, what we heard was a song almost like the Imperial March from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that's really cool. That kind of...
And that was actually all in one song.
Oh, that kind of works, doesn't it? What a smart move.
They weren't just cutting up the song. That was all one song.
Awesome. So for me, the duel is really intense, and especially seeing it in the theaters on the big screen. But I remember watching behind-the-scenes footage of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen training for that choreography, that fight, and they were going really fast in their training. I don't think they sped up the footage or anything. I think the actors were actually performing that fight choreography that fast.
I mean, at some point in Phantom Menace, they had to slow down the footage instead of speed it up, and in Revenge of the Sith they didn't speed it up. I guarantee you. Oh,
they were incredible. Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen put in the work, which is something to me that kind of stands out in the prequel trilogy in general. But we'll talk about that when we get to our rankings. The other thing that stood out to me, Nate, was it might have been just the music or the kind of the enhanced sound effects or whatever, but the execution of Order 66 in the theaters kind of hit harder for me. I was feeling the feels a little bit when the clones turned on their Jedi allies.
Some people in the theater, they actually said out loud, "The time has come. Execute Order 66."
By some people, Nate means himself. You said that.
And a bunch of the theater, actually. I heard someone next to me say, "Execute Order 66."
Nice, yeah. So they were feeling it too, right? What a good time.
I actually almost shed a couple tears when I saw Plo Koon die. He's my favorite Jedi that doesn't really have any lines other than in the Clone Wars.
That's true. Yeah. Just overall, I'll kind of just wrap up my reaction to the movie. I love that. I love the movie in general, and always enjoy watching it. But just being in the theater, and seeing it again, kind of as if I was in my early 20s, and with you, Nate, really enhanced everything. It was so much more fun to see it that way with the special opening, and I just really enjoyed it. And I almost want to call it the best of the prequels.
It is the best of the prequels.
Or is it? Do you have any final thoughts on your on your reactions for Revenge of the Sith in theaters?
Darth Vader, Anakin. If you haven't seen it, then spoiler alert: Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader. One of my favorite parts. And then the no.
You like that part?
After that. Yes. Seriously, all the droids, they're just fixing him up, and then we see the helmet lower onto Vader's head. It feels like we're Darth Vader in that part.
It does.
It seriously feels like we are Anakin there.
You kind of feel it like he's trapped. Almost like a prison's being enclosed around him.
Yeah.
Right? What a cool part. So so you'd rate it pretty high, right, Nate?
10 out of 10 for Revenge of the Sith.
There you go. 10 out of 10. So let's maybe we'll get to our Star Wars movie rankings. But first, you know what isn't a movie ranking at all?
Oh, God.
The products and services that support this podcast, which you will hear about, and then we will get to our Star Wars movie rankings.
All right, so we got a bunch of cows to approve this. Yes, it went by me. I look, I tried to run it by you, okay? But the cows, they ordered me not to.
The cows? We're sponsored by cows.
Yes, we're sponsored by cows.
Like moo cows.
Yes, the ones that go moo.
And make milk.
Yes. Oh,
how much are they paying us?
$0.
Ah. Okay. So, listeners.
Look, they'll pay us in like moos or whatever.
Moos. Can we get milk?
I don't think so. No.
Listeners.
Look, just
partake in the products of cows, then.
You know what?
This podcast is brought to you by
cows.
So now that we're back, let's get right into our Star Wars movie rankings. We have 11 movies to rank, and I'm just going to read them all really quick, not in any particular order. We have A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and Solo.
A Star Wars story.
Also a Star Wars story.
You did put them in a order.
It was in
their
order.
Release
Their
order.
release order. Just randomly put them in that order. So Nate, why don't you start us off with your number 11 as in the worst Star Wars movie on your list?
Okay. I do not like The Force Awakens. Number 11, that's The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. Tell me about that.
I just don't like it. I don't find it appealing. I mean, yeah, its final battle was kind of good, but I like faster lightsaber duels. It's nowhere near my favorite.
Okay, well, we're kind of close there. Let me do my number 11 then.
All right,
For me, number 11 is The Rise of Skywalker.
Really? You didn't like that one? I love that one.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. I like all the Star Wars movies to some extent, but that's the one I like the least, I guess I would say. For that one, for me, I thought the ending was it was like underwhelming. I thought The Last Jedi did a lot to set up what could be a pretty good ending to the story, the sequel story. But then, Palpatine's suddenly back. And Rey is related to Palpatine suddenly. So I just didn't like, the ending was really underwhelming to me. And the final duel was kind of meh. Like, she just blocked the lightning back at him and killed him. There was nothing exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Disney kind of ruined that one. Like, that one, Palpatine didn't want to re-execute Order 66. Palpatine wanted to, steal Rey's youth or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, he did. I just didn't. I thought that was
classic Disney villain.
Yeah, I didn't like that one as much, and I'm a little surprised to hear you say The Force Awakens is number 11. But I get it. I understand completely.
There's a lot of things they could have done better.
Okay, Nate. So what's your number 10 then?
Coming in at number 10, The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi is number 10 for you.
It's better than The Force Awakens, I can tell you that. But in the end, the First Order guards, the ones that kind of look like the Imperial Guard from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be highly trained guards for the First Order, trained for years, pretty much all of their life, and they easily got slaughtered by Rey.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, Rey and Kylo Ren are both Force sensitive Jedi, like space wizards. So give them a little credit, right?
I mean, yeah.
All right, fair enough. For me, my number 10 is The Force Awakens. So I put it a little higher on my list than you put it on your list. In the movie, The Force Awakens to me is enjoyable for sure, but as I was watching it in the theater, I would remember myself thinking oh, they're just redoing A New Hope here. Like, Rey is Luke from a desert planet, right? She ends up finding the Millennium Falcon and leaving the planet on the Millennium Falcon, just like in A New Hope. And there's a Death Star; it's just bigger. So
Starkiller Base.
Yeah, Starkiller Base is the bigger Death Star, right? So to me, it was more like when the sequels were announced and they started coming out, I was like, okay, let's do something new with Star Wars. But the first thing they gave us was essentially just remaking A New Hope. So for me, that kind of put it near the bottom of the list, even though it's an enjoyable movie, right? It's fun. A New Hope was fun too, but it wasn't really new to me. So that's why I put it where I put it.
Coming in at number 9. For me, The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker is number 9 for you.
I mean, yeah, they ruined what happened in Return of the Jedi with 3 words. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Oh, you mean ruined the death of Palpatine?
Yes, and ruined Return of the Jedi too. They pretty much were just like, no, its ending is incompetent. We want Palpatine back.
Yeah.
So they basically just ruined it. Oh yeah, and it's also the one where they said they fly now 3 times in one scene. I'm not going to say they fly now 3 times. Okay, fine. They fly now.
They fly now.
They fly now.
Yep, that was verbatim that came out of that movie, and that's one of the reasons why I put the movie at dead last in my list. I'm good for you on giving them a little more space, right?
It it was really good to me, actually. But they could have done better. They could have done, like... They could have kept Darth Plagueis alive, had him be Palpatine's... I mean, have him be the main villain. Just
do
finish
something,
off Plagueis.
Right? Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, and I put it lower on the list because it's like... You know what it kind of felt like? It was like, okay, the fans didn't like The Last Jedi enough or whatever. We've got to bring back Palpatine and just do something big and try to close it out. You know, they were just... I felt like they were desperately trying to reach for something that they thought the fans would all like, and it landed flat. I agree with you. That's why I put it even farther down the bottom of my list.
All right, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Solo, a Star Wars story.
Really?
Yes.
I put that one.
Where did you put it? You could put it?
I put that one at number 8.
Number 8. Okay, so we're gonna get there in a minute.
Yeah, it's my number 8.
But for me, I liked Solo more than most. And Solo is kind of the movie that like killed the Star Wars story concept, right? They had Rogue One, then they had Solo, and Solo did really badly or whatever. So Disney kind of decided they weren't going to make any more. But I liked it, right? I liked it more than most do because Woody Harrelson's like the heist guy that's posing as an Imperial soldier or whatever, and then he organizes the heist. He was really good. You know, and I liked what it set up kind of with like Darth Maul showing up at the end. Do you remember that?
Yep.
But the problem is it goes lower down on near the bottom of my list because of what it did to the Star Wars story franchise, sort of. Because, you know, it essentially killed it. Like, fans didn't like it, so now we know we're not going to get any more of that story with Darth Maul. We're not going to get any of that.
Yeah.
You know, the story was fun. It was a nice heist story. You know, it was a fun ending. But, you know, what it did to the franchise where it kind of cut off that whole thing is why I rate it lower. And, you know, a lot of it's really, it wasn't needed.
You know, they could have made, like, an entire new Star Wars trilogy with, like, Rogue One and Solo. Like, Solo first, then some new movie where they fight Darth Maul again after the Phantom Menace, and then Rogue One. That would have been the perfect new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, but Solo killed it. No chance of seeing that now, and that's why I put it. No chance
of just one last Star Wars movie for that.
And that's why I put it at number 9.
Coming in at number 8 for me, Solo. It solidified its position with Darth Maul returning. I mean, he was one of my favorite prequels characters, and he returned in Solo, and that made me think, oh, maybe he's going to be a villain again. No.
Well, he was gonna, but fans didn't like Solo that much. And we're pretty close on this one, right? I put Solo at number 9. You put it at number 8.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just like with the Force Awakens.
Yeah, we're pretty close. I'd have to agree with you, right? We were so excited to maybe get more of Darth Maul, but nope, the movie didn't do well, and fans didn't like it for good reason. There are a lot of good reasons. And so now we're not getting any more of that Star Wars story.
Yeah. Like, if only people liked Solo. I liked Solo. I did.
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's a good heist movie.
Yeah. Like, you want a Star Wars themed heist? That's your movie.
That's
All right, Dad, what about your number 8?
My number 8 is going to be The Last Jedi.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So The Last Jedi, you know, I feel like I personally put this movie higher up in the rankings than most people. And I like it for some of the reasons that fans dislike it. Right. You know, I agree. Like, you watch that movie and that weird little side quest to the casino planet was probably not necessary. Their race on those like horse things or whatever to escape the casino is like, yeah. You know. But was that good?
They basically like put an unneeded casino night.
There. It was a weird side quest, you know. But to be honest, I like, and you know, a lot of people don't like this, but I liked seeing Luke kind of in a state where he's dealing with trauma and kind of a personal failing, like his Jedi Order collapsed. You know, he saw Kylo Ren as maybe falling to the dark side, and in a moment of weakness, he thought of maybe using his lightsaber and like killing Kylo Ren, right? You know,
I mean, Luke technically almost killed his own nephew.
Yeah. But, I mean, think about what Luke was looking at that point, right? He's sensing the future or whatever and seeing Kylo falling to the dark side, maybe being responsible for lots of deaths and suffering.
I mean,
and
Luke did want to prevent the next Darth Vader.
That's right. And for just a second, he kind of gave into that weakness because he's human. He has normal human failings. And I kind of like that. And I know a lot of the fans are like, no, that's not my Luke. He would never do that. But I thought it added sort of a human, nature to him. And
yeah.
The other thing I kind of liked about it that other people didn't like is that they said, Rey was kind of grappling, like, who's my family in this movie? She's looking for who her parents are. Why was she left on that planet? I don't even remember the planet. That's how...
It was either Tatooine or Pasaana.
No, it wasn't either of those.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was that... See how memorable it is? But anyway, it's not. But then Kylo Ren tells her, oh, your parents were just drunks or whatever. They gave you up for drinking money or gambling money or something. And... the fans are like, what? That you can't have that. She's got to be related to somebody, blah, blah, blah. And I thought it was a cool message to kind of say, your hero can be anyone. Anyone might end up being the hero that saves the day. Don't wait for someone of royal blood or heritage to come save the day. You could be the hero. They even end the movie with a kid looking up into the stars, using the Force to pick up a broom because he might be the next hero. And, maybe he's got that belief now that he can be the one to make a difference.
Yeah.
I thought that was an inspirational message.
And then...
I know that's going to put me on a weird, weird list of people who like The Last Jedi a little more than they should. But I thought it was really good. So, Nate, let's get to number 7. What's your number 7?
Coming in at number 7, Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Oh, we really disagree on this one.
Really?
Yeah, I put that much higher, but we'll get to that when we finally get to Rogue One in my list. Why did you put it at number 7?
I mean, it could have been better. They could have done just a little bit more with it. Like, they could have added just a bit more of Darth Vader.
Oh, man, but that hallway scene, though,
the hallway scene in the end.
That one scene doesn't, bring it up into your... Okay.
That's... I actually thought the hallway scene was part of A New Hope.
Sort of.
I mean, it was like... The hallway scene happened right at the very beginning of A New Hope. Pretty much.
It kind of did. All right.
And that movie is sort of what overlaps the prequels with the originals.
Yeah, it's like a bridge.
But there was still a lot more other stuff that could have made a bridge. But it began like only 1 or 2 years after the Empire was formed, right?
I mean, I think it was more than that. I think it was like 10 years or something like that. But yeah, it was a good one. 10
years after the Empire got formed?
We'd have to look it up on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia?
Yeah, no, that's a real site.
Really?
Yeah. No, it is.
Nice. Yeah. I thought you made that up.
Nope.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Attack of the Clones. So, I'm just going to throw a quick disclaimer here that I'm going to say again, I like all the movies to some extent. I'll watch any one of them that are on TV or on whatever. But this one I put in the middle.
We're not that far away from each other on Attack of the Clones.
Oh, boy.
Because I put it at number 6.
Spoilers for 2 minutes from now, but no, that's fine. I put this one in the middle, kind of because of the Anakin and Padme romance. I thought it was really tough to believe, especially after he murders all the Tuskens and then goes in and talks to her about it. And he's like, I killed them all, and their women and their children.
I slaughtered them like animals.
Yeah, yeah. I think
was whiny in that one.
Yeah, I think Padme would have run away screaming at that point. You know what I mean? Oh boy, he just killed all these people, and she stays there. Some positives, right? Though it has plenty of positives. The battle at the end with the clones, and the separatists is epic. the Jedi in the arena all kind of fighting together as a team, which was really cool. And I do remember really being excited for like Yoda seeing action. I remember in the theater, like when he used the Force to like draw his lightsaber and fight Count Dooku. I thought that was freaking awesome.
Was it Attack of the Clones where Yoda used Force lightning, like deflected it back at Dooku?
He did deflect it. He didn't use it, but he deflected it.
Yeah.
Yep. Which comes in handy for him in Revenge of the Sith.
It's time for number 6. For me, it's gotta be Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. We just talked about that.
Yeah, I know. Attack of the Clones. It's really good. But like he said, the Anakin and Padme romance and Padme probably would run away screaming after Anakin came back and was like, "I killed them all. I slaughtered them like animals." But not just the men, the women and the children too.
Yes.
Bro, that's a big screaming.
That's what we call a red flag. If you're lady listeners or anybody listeners, if your partner comes in and is like, "I killed them all," maybe run. Right? Nate?
Yeah. That really should have been a red flag to some other people as to what happens during Order 66 and Revenge of the Sith.
Excellent. Speaking of Revenge of the Sith, we're on number 6, right?
Yeah.
Number 6 for me is Revenge of the Sith.
What? Why did you put that there? That should have been second place for you. What?
I know, right?
Sorry.
That's why I said, or is it the best of the sequels? Because listeners who are prequels. Listeners who are paying attention will realize there's still one prequel left in my list. But I'm going to go ahead and put this movie higher than Phantom Menace. It's better. I'm going to say it right here. It is a better movie than Phantom Menace. If you look at movies, the duels at the end are epic. Watching Order 66 being executed and all that stuff, it was amazing. It is better than Phantom Menace, but I have some reasons why I put Phantom Menace higher, which we'll get to in a minute. And when you think about it, we kind of knew, by the time we get to Revenge of the Sith, we knew what was going to happen, right? The Jedi all have to be killed off. Anakin's got to turn to the dark side and be Vader. Palpatine's got to become the Emperor. All that stuff, and Obi-Wan's got to escape to Tatooine. We knew it was going to happen if you'd seen the original trilogy.
And Yoda had to escape to Dagobah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you've seen the original trilogy, there was you knew what was going to happen. It was just kind of like, well, all right, well, how do we get here? The prequels had run out of room to tell new story at this point. So I felt okay moving it a little bit farther back in my list from Phantom Menace, which we'll get to in a minute. So I'm going to take it away for the next one. We're at number 5, and I'm going to say it right now. Number 5 for me is The Phantom Menace, which is going to be a very unpopular opinion. You look at most lists, and Phantom Menace is kind of way up there near the,
How dare
10 or 11. But I'm putting it at number 5. Is your mind blown?
My mind is actually relatively blown. And
where was Phantom Menace for you? I know, we just talked about it.
I can't tell you just yet.
Oh my god, is it even higher up the list?
It's even higher up the list, Dad.
What? You liked it even? Okay.
Yes, and
Don't give me such
by
a hard
the way,
time,
when you said that you put Revenge of the Sith at number 6 and The Phantom Menace at number 5, my brain's about... I'm about to tell you... I'm about to say, are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
No, but this is... Phantom Menace is a worse movie than Revenge of the Sith, objectively. I think you can say for sure.
Did you just say that Phantom Menace is worse than Revenge of the Sith?
Yep, but I'm still putting it ahead of...
What is wrong with this guy?
I'm still putting it ahead of Revenge of the Sith. And there's reasons, right? So when this movie first came out in 1999, I was in high school.
You were in the 90s.
In the 90s. And the last Star Wars movie that was made in 83 for Return of the Jedi. So it had been 16 years since Star Wars, and I had already watched the original trilogy like 300 times each movie or whatever. So, I had basically resigned myself at that point to not getting any Star Wars ever again, and all of a sudden Phantom Menace is announced.
Yeah.
Right? The hype for this movie was huge. They had a music video, right? The Duel of the Fates had its own music video. You know, we were able to see, we were going to get new Star Wars after 16 years, right? Star Wars was my dad's and my parents' movie, you know, that I got to enjoy. Now I was going to get my own Star Wars from Phantom Menace, right? We got to see the trailer for it, where we could see the Jedi in action for the first time at the height of their power. We saw Darth Maul igniting his double-bladed lightsaber. I mean,
and the crowd went wild.
When that movie comes on, I'm a teenager again for a few minutes while I get to relive all that hype. I just, you know, it's incredible to me, and I know it's a worse movie. I get it, right? If you're gonna jump in the comments, you can roast me all you want. But when that movie came out, or was announced and came out, that was the signal that we were gonna get new Star Wars for the first time in more than a decade, and there was so much potential behind it, and for me, it's never going to lose that sort of luster of, like, that was the movie that signaled that Star Wars is back for my generation, and I would get new Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather, he had his own generation. You had your own generation, and I had mine.
Yeah, it seems like all your movies in your generation are kind of
Yes, they suck. Okay, we get it.
So Nate, what's your number 5?
My number 5. Okay, people in the comments, roast me all you want too. I'm putting Empire Strikes Back at number 5.
Come on, man. Come on,
Look,
man.
I'm sorry. Okay, I do like Empire Strikes Back, but there's no flair of like a Death Star about to blow up a planet in it.
Oh, I see.
And yeah, like everyone's favorite line of that one is "No, I am your father."
I'm glad you got it right. By the way, most people say Luke, I am your father, but it's no.
In my notes, I put Empire Strikes Back is the one where people mistake "No, I am your father" for Luke. I am your father.
So number 5 is Empire.
The Imperial March. The Imperial March.
Yeah. Number 5 is Empire Strikes Back for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay. Well, hey, this is your list.
All right, we're almost done. Coming in at number 4, A New Hope for me.
Wow, you put in. Well, all right. A New Hope is number 4. Not even in the top 3. A New Hope.
It is quite the movie. It started it all.
It did start it all.
Like the 2 sons on Tatooine, old Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's his name. That's supposed to be his name, Luke. But yeah, old Ben Kenobi being Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, the first lightsaber duel was better than the sequels. All of their duels combined.
I don't know about that.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
The first duel, Obi-Wan versus Vader. Anakin versus Obi-Wan Part 2.
So number 4 for you is A New Hope.
Yeah.
Started it all, leaving just outside the top 3.
What about for you?
For me,
let's hear it.
Number 4 is Return of the Jedi.
Oh, God.
Am I blowing your mind again?
Yes. Yes, you did. I thought you liked that one better. And now I'm getting curious as to what your number 1 is.
There you go.
I'm not. But I can't look at your notes. You can't look at my notes.
Don't look at the notes. They're handwritten notes, by the way. Somebody was using my computer, so I had to write it by hand.
I was using my phone.
So 10-year-old me, Nate, and this is funny because you talked about Empire a minute ago, and you're like, oh, there's no big fun Death Star or whatever, you know. But 10-year-old me, like basically your age, you're a little older than that, would have put Return of the Jedi at number 1. Because it had a huge Death Star battle, the battle of the moon, on the moon. It had that 3-way climax where you have a space battle going, pew 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 pew, right? The battle on the moon where the Ewoks or whatever, and then the lightsaber fight between Luke and Vader. Incredibly fun, but to me, just my top 3 edge it out. Like I love Return of the Jedi. Don't get me wrong. And some days when you ask me, this will be number 3. Other days it's number 4. But I put it at number 4 here because I didn't want to be accused. Well, now it'll be a spoiler. You'll see. I mean, if you've been paying attention, you know what the next 3 are because there's only 3 left, and we already talked about them. But I love Return of the Jedi, but I think the top 3 edge them out.
All right. It's time for the top 3.
The top 3. Should we get right to it?
Time it is. To do our final 3, we will.
The top 3. Nate, what's your number 3 Star Wars movie?
Coming in at number 3. The Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. You are an oddball. You are an oddball.
I love it. It's beautiful. I love it.
I thought I was weird for putting Phantom Menace as high as like number 5. But you putting it number 3 really takes the cake. You may be the only Star Wars fan who has Phantom Menace in their top 3. Good for you, buddy. I'm fist bumping you. Fist bump. Tell me about why.
I mean, Darth Maul.
Oh,
I was
that's why.
obsessed with him, like until General Grievous. Until I watched Revenge of the Sith with General Grievous, and then, of course, more recently it became Anakin. But Darth Maul, he was one of my favorites. One of my favorite Sith Lords ever.
He was the coolest.
Yeah.
Like, the moment, like I was talking about it in the, in mine where I ranked Phantom Menace, but when you're watching the trailer or the music video for Duel of the Fates, when he pops up and ignites a double-bladed lightsaber, when all he saw was Vader and Luke with their boring single-bladed lightsabers, my mind was blown. I'm like, he is so cool. And so I kind of get it. I think Darth Maul may be the coolest Star Wars villain. So I kind of get it.
Yeah. And if you've been paying attention, then you'll know there's only 2 movies that I haven't done.
Yeah.
How about you?
So for me, number 3 is Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Really?
Yes.
God, look at this guy. He liked Rogue One a
Rogue,
lot.
Rogue One is great, and this one edged into my top 3 barely. And sometimes, if you ask me on certain days, maybe it's number 4 in Return of the Jedi takes the 3rd spot. But for me, this one's number 3 today, because it is, it has a great cast, right? And I like the gritty nature of it. Like, it started off, and you can kind of tell how oppressive the Empire is. Like, it starts off with Andor, like, killing an informant that they have so that he wouldn't be captured by the Empire and give up their position. And unlike Solo, this movie kind of adds some context to the Rebels' struggle to stop the Death Star. I think it enhances A New Hope, because you kind of see like what Leia just barely escaped, in order to get where she was, and what their desperate, attempt to get the plans for the Death Star away. And I think, to me, the Vader hallway scene, like, pushes this movie past most of the other movies just by itself. Like, because we got to see Vader, and like in that dark hallway when he ignites his lightsaber, I remember being in the theater being like, oh no, like they're dead. Like, all these rebels are, like, he's terrifying in that scene. And there's something about it, like, because when you see A New Hope, you see, even Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, he's dangerous. But like when you see him in Rogue One, you see just how horrifying, like, running into him must have been for any of the rebels that had the bad fortune to see him and have to deal with him. So, for me, that's one of the reasons why it pushed Rogue One, into the top 3.
Yours was the start of the war. Of the Star War. Figured out why it's called that. My number 2 is the end of the war. Return of the Jedi.
Number 2.
It's a masterpiece.
A masterpiece?
Yes, it is.
But the Ewoks.
Yes, the Ewoks. Is that what made you hate it? But
I don't hate it. I put it at number 4.
Was the Ewoks that made you... Were the Ewoks that were the ones that made you not like it?
I liked it just fine.
Because the Ewoks, they're my friends.
Nub nub.
Nub nub. I don't got anything else to say on it. Well, what about your number 2?
That's it? You love Return of the Jedi and that's all you're going to say?
Look, yeah, the reason why I'm not going to say a lot of it is because you already covered most of it. Most of why I like it.
Real? So what's your favorite part?
My favorite part, it's got to be when Vader blocks Luke's attack to end Palpatine, because it was pretty much the father protecting his son from going down the dark, from joining the dark side.
That's interesting.
It wasn't.
I never thought of it.
It wasn't
that way.
Vader protecting Palpatine. It was Vader protecting Luke.
Ooh, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, well,
actually, that's the first time I've ever thought of it. That's a good point. Maybe he kind of was, right?
Dad, if you look at it, Luke took a swing towards Palpatine, not towards Vader.
Yes, I know Luke was trying to kill Palpatine, but I never thought of it. I always thought that Vader was trying to block for Palpatine.
No, Vader was trying to block to save Luke from being the next Darth Vader.
Oh my God. Well, that's a good point. All right.
And of course he was trying to save Palpatine too, maybe.
I don't know. I kind of like your interpretation a little bit. I'm going to keep...
And that's actually what a lot of people think.
Awesome.
It's not just my opinion. What's your number 2, Dad? I'm curious.
For me, I'm going to put Empire Strikes Back as my number 2. Not my number 1.
This was the guy that told me that almost everyone loves Empire Strikes Back as the best originals movie.
I'm putting it at number 2, and I have a reason.
Okay, then explain.
I will explain. But I'm going to start by saying that from the perspective of doing a trilogy, right? Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, trilogy. I think The Empire Strikes Back is probably a perfect Act 2 of a trilogy. Right?
Yeah.
'Cause Act 1, the heroes win. You know, it's very exciting. But then Act 2, the Empire comes back and the heroes lose that one. Luke loses his hand. Han is stuck in carbonite. You know what I mean? The rebels are on the run. They have to flee the galaxy. They lose their base on Hoth. And you're watching this, and they even have the big reveal, like you said, Vader. You know, no, I am your father. Like, you're watching this movie, and it's hard for me to imagine, you know, being in the 80s or whatever when this came out, late 70s or early 80s, and going to that movie. I can only imagine people must have been like, oh my God, I can't wait for the third one. And that's what you want from a middle movie in a trilogy. You want to hook people in for the conclusion. Like, how are the rebels going to get out of this? How's Luke going to get better? How are they going to rescue Han? I want to see this right now. And then, you know, then you're going to have all those people coming for Return of the Jedi. But I would never, you know, argue with anyone that came to me and said, you know what, Empire's the best one. Because, you know, from a storytelling perspective, I think it is probably better than my number 1, which, you know, there's only one left, so we'll know. But I'm putting it at number 2, just kind of because, you know, of what my number 1 represents.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Nate.
Before we get to our number 1, I have an honorable mention that will sort of transition into my number 1.
Okay. What is it?
My honorable mention is the Clone Wars series from 2008. That's
right, the animated series.
It basically symbolized what happened during right after Anakin became a Jedi Knight. It symbolized what happened after, because there was a 2003 Clone Wars show too. We're talking about the 2008 one. Yeah. Yeah, this one symbolized what happened right after the 2003 one ended. When Anakin became a Jedi Knight, trained Ahsoka, and Season 7 overlapped with my number 1.
That's right. What a great show that was.
Yeah.
So let's get to it then. What is Nate's number 1 pick for all the 11 Star Wars movies?
Out of all 11 Star Wars movies, the Clone Wars Season 7 overlaps with Revenge of the Sith.
That's right. So Revenge of the Sith is your number 1, the one we just saw.
Yes, the one we saw in theaters. Like, I absolutely love it. Going into the very beginning with the 2 Jedi Interceptors flying over the Venator, then into the huge battle. It's just awesome. And then, hello there. Ah, General Kenobi. I've been trained in your Jedi arts by Count Dooku.
Grievous.
And also, do it.
Kill him.
Kill him now. Yeah, with Anakin sort of getting his revenge on Dooku by decapitating him, and also taking both of his arms and his head. And then, there was actually a funny blooper before the Count Dooku fight in that one.
Oh yeah, what's the blooper?
So So Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, they do this quick little lightsaber twirl. Ewan McGregor, not McGregor, succeeds in doing his little lightsaber twirl, but Hayden Christensen hits himself straight where it hurts.
Right in the cookies, right, Nate? Oh,
yeah.
That's a funny movie.
Yeah.
So that's your number one.
Yeah.
So that you got to tell the listeners what your absolute favorite part of that movie is.
My absolute favorite part starts with the build-up. Order 66, and then you go into the build-up for my real favorite part, the final battle, Anakin versus Obi-Wan. Like, with the build-up, Anakin thinking the Jedi are evil, and
from his point of view,
and Anakin and Obi-Wan just arguing, like, you took her from me, Anakin. You have done that yourself.
Yes, very good.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. And then, of course, it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
That's right. You underestimate my power.
Don't try it.
Oh, we're not here to read the lines, but I think I know what you're talking about. What an epic movie.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna fault you for putting that in your number one. I totally get it.
It is. It's my absolute favorite. I love the prequels more than any other trilogy, especially over the sequels.
You're opening yourself up to some trouble in the comments when you say that. Star Wars purists are going to be like, no, the original trilogy. But that's all right.
Well, I got one thing to say if you're going to roast me in the comments. Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
It's treason, then.
All right. Finally, Dad, what's your number one?
My number one is A New Hope.
It began it all. I agree with that.
The very first Star Wars movie. I think there's some cases to be made where, maybe Empire Strikes Back is a better movie, has better storytelling or better acting or whatever you want to call it. But for me, A New Hope kind of started it all, right?
It did start it all.
Star Wars is probably my favorite franchise ever, out of any franchise.
I thought it was Star Trek.
Star Trek's up there. I'm a sci-fi nerd. We'll get to those movies probably, but Star Wars for me is my favorite franchise. I've watched every one of the movies except for maybe the sequel trilogy, countless times. I don't even want to know how many times. And I wouldn't have gotten to enjoy any of that if A New Hope wasn't successful and wasn't such a great story. So for me, I'm putting A New Hope in at number one because it gives us all of... Without it, we wouldn't have Star Wars. We wouldn't have the Jedi. We wouldn't have the Empire, the Death Star, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Leia. All those great characters all came in from A New Hope. And, my life would probably be a lot different if it weren't for having the Star Wars franchise in it, as kind of a key... piece of entertainment that I love. So I'm putting A New Hope at number one, even if it may not necessarily be the very best Star Wars movie. It definitely deserves to be there in my book.
All right, so I love that you put A New Hope at number one. It is a really, really good movie. It's just not number one for me, even though it started it all. It's just not number one for me.
Fair enough, no problem.
All right, so in case the listeners might have forgotten, let's recap our lists. You first.
Sure. So for me, number 11, Rise of Skywalker. Number 10, The Force Awakens. Number 9, Solo, a Star Wars story. Number 8, The Last Jedi. Number 7, Attack of the Clones. Number 6, Revenge of the Sith. Number 5, The Phantom Menace. Number 4, Return of the Jedi. Number 3, Rogue One. Number 2, The Empire Strikes Back. And number 1, A New Hope. How about you, Nate?
Well, for me, it goes number 11, The Force Awakens. Number 10, The Last Jedi. Number 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Number 8, Solo. Number 7, Rogue One. Number 6, Attack of the Clones. Number 5, Empire Strikes Back. Number 4, A New Hope. Number 3, The Phantom Menace. Episode 2, Return of the Jedi. And Revenge of the Sith.
Awesome, Nate. I love your list. I love how we had quite a lot to talk about, kind of, where our lists were the same and different.
Yeah, we had longer than our first episode of to talk about our lists and our reaction to Revenge of the Sith in theaters.
Awesome. Well, hopefully, listeners, you enjoyed our lists, and hit us up in the comments where you agreed, where you disagreed, what some of your lists are, and we can't wait to hear from you.
We would love to hear it.
And until next time, Nate, we are
Popcorn and Power-Ups.
Thanks for listening.